Hey everyone, this is Caitlin.
And this is Lacey.
And this is Women in the Trailer Industry. Today we're going to talk a little bit about NATDA, what that is, when it is, where it is, and everything that all entails. Lacey, tell us a little bit about NATDA.
So first of all, NATDA stands for North American Trailer Dealer Association. It is going to be this year, August 29th through the 31st in Nashville. What do they call it? The heart of Music City or something?
Yes, Music City at least.
Yeah. So tell us about what we're going to be doing there.
So our company, the Trailer Parts Outlet, we're going to have our booth there, obviously, and we sell trailer parts, nationwide trailer parts, retail customers, and everyone in between who just needs service. And then for the podcast, Women in the Trailer Industry and Full Send with Juan Hernandez, we're actually going to get to be in the podcast lounge, or I call it podcast lounge, the Expo Lounge.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So I'm really excited because everyone can really come hang out. They're going to have a really open feeling, be able to podcast with us, have some scheduled podcasts and some really, audience bringing podcast to the show.
So in the lounge, is that where they set up where people can have their lunch or whatever? Is that what they're calling the lounge?
Yeah, I think this year they may be setting it up to where people can rest and everything like that. But from future years, I believe it is where,
so you can pretty much take a break, but have some entertainment.
Yeah.
Or
the entertainment hour.
Yeah.
But we would love for everyone to be on it. Basically, Women in the Trailer Industry, we really talk about leadership and success, getting all the women on there, even the men, how they've seen women excel in their industry as well as themselves. And then for Juan with Full Send, he really just gives the grunt of industry news and what everyone's dealing with and comes with the cold, hard truth. And
he full sends it.
Yeah, most
For real.
definitely. Way different than Women in the Trailer Industry, but some exciting things to look forward to really just get some engagement and get some networking going.
Yeah, for sure. And I think on the podcast too, you can use it almost like to tell, we run this on several different channels, but really it live streams while we're there. Well, that's a really cool feature. Yeah. So we can, anything that happens in real time, we're talking about it and we're talking to people walking by. And so it's also a good place to come and just talk about what you do as a company. That's one other way that's free marketing, right? To get your stuff out there. What do you offer? What is it special about your company? What are some struggles that you have if you're a woman in a male-dominated industry, or if you are even a man that, this is your company and you have, everybody has struggles, right? Yeah. So we don't close it off to anybody. We just like to encourage and promote leadership and walk you through it. So we would be happy to have anybody who wants to come and be on it. And also Juan will be there too. So grab any of us and be like, hey, let's do it. But
last show we definitely had a lot of great feedback, and then also a lot of ball humbugs who really didn't understand. And, the purpose of this and most short form content and podcasts now is, more and more people are more content driven instead of just word driven and things like that. So really just trying to get in front of people, and we want to help you try to learn to get in front of people as well to help your brand and to promote your business. So I think that's a great way to be on the podcast and what you can benefit from that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So if you do want to reach out to us and schedule your time on the podcast, just reach out to us at Lacey, Lacey, at thetrailerpartsoutlet.com, or give us a call. We would be happy to schedule you in before, or if you get there and you missed this podcast, you can definitely just come by and say hey, I'd like to be on it, and we'll definitely get you in. But it's a good opportunity all the way around. I think that the trailer show and, the reps behind it, Karen, and Andrea, they do such a magnificent job of setting it up for the best place for the industry, just an atmosphere that is encouraging and uplifting and opportunistic for everybody. Right. And they've done wonderful things for us. And as far as opportunity goes too.
And I think Corey has some awesome speakers lined up So that there is education at the trailer show. So definitely if you need to learn some things for your dealership or even in your business at all, definitely come out to those speakers. I think they happen a little bit earlier, but definitely get into that education and be able to take advantage of that free education for being at the trailer show, right? So that'll be beneficial as well.
Yeah, I think last year they had a few that was driven towards like social media and how to use it for least amount of money possible. So good resources, especially, I mean, we all know cash flow is something that's very important in a business, and you want to use your cash wisely as far as advertising goes. And some people, they're really good at their business, but don't really have the knowledge on how to promote that using marketing dollars or whatever that looks like. And this is just some good snippets for just some direction on that.
Yeah, for sure. And, taking advantage of all of NATDA's offerings, not only do they have the trailer show, but they also have member benefits.
Right.
Different things, insurances, credit card processing companies that are partnered with them to help you succeed in business. And not only for their benefits, but NATDA has always been a great networking event.
Absolutely.
Not even from a buyer-seller standpoint, but who can you connect with? And that's what Karen's always been strong on.
Yes.
Who can she connect you with that can get you out of a bind, that can help you get more business and really just make those connections to make everyone more successful.
Yeah, and to help each other grow, because if you're helping each other, you're going to be able to access more things. I mean, I think we're going to get into talking about what the industry is right now, some industry news, but you can access more supply. You can have other outlets if your current supplier is out, right? So this is a way to meet those different people and to know your options, to form those relationships, and to just become friends with these people because they want to succeed, you want to succeed. Why can't we work together, right?
Yeah,
and so Karen NATDA is a wonderful place to do that, but Karen is just top notch on getting people connected.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean, she was probably one of the reasons, that we had this brainchild.
Yeah.
And just kind of what she instilled in us, and always being that mentor.
Yes.
In a strange way, at the shows, we would almost have Karen hour where she'd come talk to us while we'd be cleaning up, and the whole staff would be there, but she's really a motivating, and inspiring person. So
yeah. And then Andrea creating the opportunity for different things, she sets up she lines out the whole shebang, right?
Yeah.
She does a great job, but I know there's a lot of work that goes into that, and there's a lot of people that help her do that, but she does a good job at really seeking what the needs are of everybody and trying to meet those.
Yeah, for sure. What are some other things?
Well, we didn't mention before, but the Trailer Parts Outlet booth will be booth 2431. So if you do want to come by, take a look at what we're doing, what we can offer. If we can work together, we would love to hear from you, talk to you about what struggles you're having, how we can help in that aspect. So booth 2431 will be there. And then if you want to see the podcast, I'm sure you'll see us. We'll be in the lounge.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. And then, so, for women in the trailer industry, this year there's going to be a committee, so that's super exciting, and we don't know the details yet, and can't share them yet, but some super great things happening. Have a lot of new members, and those will be announced soon, and then also have a roundtable networking event for women in the trailer industry. So that's going to be an awesome networking event. And then, of course, seeing Full Send out at the podcast booth.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's just a good year to the first year. Yes, last year was more of just like, this is who we are. And people were like, podcast? That's kind of awkward for our industry.
Yeah.
But then it was like, hey, and I think even when we started the podcast, we didn't really know what was going to become of it. We just were kind of like, hey, this is kind of a cool idea. And then from there, it's kind of like grown into this thing that is just a good all around, both Full Send and women in the trailer industry. But for the industry itself, it's good to talk about like, what are the struggles? Because we want to hear about it. Other people want to hear about it, and just to relate in that way. But I think it's just funny how it's just blossomed kind of, and so we grew the first year. We learned a lot. We've learned a lot, especially don't go look at our first podcast because we were like just so immature.
Rookies.
Yeah. But also, let's talk about some of the industry news, like what's happening in our industry.
So for parts specifically, and that's what we can really speak on, in our industry, we're seeing a lot of overinflated inventory. You know, people can get things now cheaper than what everybody's sitting on. So it's kind of like this pull and tug where, you know, someone may have to lose a little, someone will have to maybe, you know, eat a little.
Yep.
So really trying to work together, trying to make sure that everyone can win a piece of the pie instead of, you know, someone just being stuck out there with overinflated inventory and can't move it. Another thing we're seeing is, you know, demand seems to be picking up a bit.
Yep.
You know, July kind of last year seemed to have kind of tanked for quite a few people, at least on the parts side of the industry, even for some of your major manufacturers on the parts side. So really seeing that tick up. And I mean, January really popped off for us specifically. And I'm not sure about anybody else because I haven't had a chance to talk to anybody, but it seems like the overall trend of the economy and of our industry has really picked up. Yeah,
it really has. And I mean, I think for February, for a lot of companies in this industry is kind of like a, we're going to land this month, you know, but this February we set record breaking numbers for our February month of over year. So it's been wonderful to see that and excited for the future months, but also kind of like, reeling because it sets the bar kind of high. And so you're going to have to be like, how are we going to make this happen?
Yeah.
Like,
but it's funny. And this kind of goes away from industry news, but how that then becomes your new standard. Right. And so 6 months from now, we won't even see these days as what the bar was.
Yes.
It's like, now that's the new minimum. And so your bar is going to be entirely different. So just
for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I think overall supply seems to be pretty caught up for most people, most companies. You're not seeing as many shortages. I think we're finally getting to like post-COVID. I know COVID's not over, right? But the effects of like the shutdowns and all that, I think we're finally getting into a year of back to average, you know, back like to how, what is normal. Yeah. So exactly. But
I think for everyone's had to track like back 2 years. So, you know, okay, what do we compare this year's metrics to 2 years ago? And, you know, because then there was a spike and then there was a lull and, you know, are we on a spike again? And so what's that look like? And I don't know, it may be a roller coaster for a while because of just things going on in the economy and politics and things.
Yeah, it's like an election year, so we'll see about that.
Yeah. We will not get into this on this podcast. But that recaps pretty much industry news for us. And I hope everyone learned about NATDA, what you can expect there, and really how to come out and come see everyone. Registration is open, I believe. If not, it opens in April, but we can send more details and have it in the comments. And then
for sure, just reach out if you have any questions. Again, that's Lacey at the Trailer Parts Outlet. If you want to be on the podcast or if you have a question, I can forward it on to whoever if I don't have the answer for it. So we can do that. And then don't forget to follow on. We'll follow us everywhere you follow your podcast and YouTube.
And like subscribe and whatever you do on a podcast.
That's right. Listen. Yeah, that's what you do. But we're excited about this year, especially about the trailer show. Oh, so if you have any posts about the trailer show, you need a hashtag. Is it hashtag trailer show? Yeah.
Good question.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And hashtag NATDA, obviously.
Yeah.
But yes, I think Karen's was always hashtag trailer show. Yeah.
Yep. So that's all we have for you today, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.